Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 1961 DeBerti Ford Econoline shop rod. Now this has 1014 horsepower, 860 pounds-feet of torque from 6.2 litre supercharged V8 engine. The vehicle itself now weighs 2,599 pounds, and it now has off-road suspension, four-wheel drive and off-road tyres. And it can now do 0 to 16 3.479 seconds, 0 to 106.115 seconds, and go to a top speed of 175 miles an hour. So we've had 3 other DeBerti vehicles on this series so far, with the Toyota Tacoma TRD performance truck being the fastest, as that is still comfortably in the top 40. But I'm expecting this to be more alongside the likes of the Ford Super Duty F250 Lariat Transformer or the F150 Pre-Runner, because the suspension on this, although it is higher than normal, is still quite low. It's extremely low to the ground still. It's only about an inch higher than it was originally. Even that was pretty much touching the ground. So yeah, even though the off-road capability is apparently pretty good, as you can see it's 7.6, I'm expecting this to crash about onto the ground a lot, to be honest. But still, the braking, the launch, the acceleration and the speed are pretty good, and the handling is fairly decent as well. We've certainly had far worse than that in terms of handling on this series before, but as you can see, the car is extremely low to the ground. Can't even see the tops of the tyres. So yeah, probably going to struggle for ground clearance, but let's see what it can do regardless. If it can surprise us, then all well and good, but if it doesn't, then yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise either. So it's extremely loud as well with that supercharger. Dominates the experience with this car, even more so now that it's been upgraded. Another issue we could find ourselves in is because it's quite a top heavy vehicle, we could roll over. As you can see, it's already swinging and swaying all over the place. So oh dear, that is definitely a potential. We just went up on 2 wheels, because obviously we now have higher ground clearance, plus we have probably softer suspension with the off-road suspension. So whoa, yes, we are in quite a precarious vehicle. Extremely loud one as well. The noise is not the main issue. The main issue is the fact that we could easily topple over. We are fairly quick, and we're dealing with the all-wheel drive fine. How are we going to deal on a landing? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, I definitely felt like we hit the ground there. And I'm not just talking with the tyres. Yep, definitely clipped the ground again there. But at least if, even though we are hitting the ground with the body of the car, it's, yeah, not having too much of an effect on the controllability of it, but it's definitely disconcerting when, you know, your entire chassis is smashing into the ground. Like that again. It's definitely one of the few vehicles we've had on this series where it's been grounding out. It's got some good pace about it, especially when you consider I'm having to be a little bit on the cautious side given it could fall over. About 138 down there, which is fairly decent. It's got really good turning on this car. It's a surprisingly good handling vehicle even in stock form with only rear wheel drive. The all wheel drive certainly hasn't hindered its handling abilities. Even though it's threatened to fall over, it has not done so, which is helpful. to say the least. That speed through there, and there we go. So we're not as quick as the Toyota Tacoma from DeBerti, but we are the second fastest that we've had from them, as we're good, nearly 5 seconds, no, yeah, about 5 seconds quicker than the Ford Super Duty from DeBerti, and a good nearly around 7 seconds quicker than the F-150 pre-runner from them as well. And we're not just faster than those cars, but we're faster than plenty of other cars as well. In terms of certainly some off-road vehicles, as we are quicker than a Honda Ridgeline Baja trophy truck, a Chevrolet K10 Custom, GMC Jimmy, Subaru Brat GL, Sierra Car 700R, and a Ford Bronco Raptor, which we only took out recently. But we are slightly slower than a Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, as well as the Ital-designed Da Vinci Concept, Toyota Hilux AT38, and the Aston Martin DBX. And we're about, I believe we're about 7 seconds slower than the DeBerti Toyota Tacoma, which is still the best from DeBerti themselves. But still, considering everything that was going against this car, not just the lack of ground clearance, but also the fact that the car was continually threatening to fall over, yeah, that was fairly quick, and I think that's down to the fact that it's got a lot of power, doesn't weigh very much, but it has really good turning and handling when needed. So yeah, on the whole, an impressive car, even if it's not by any means the quickest that we've had. Nonetheless, though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.